Oh, I don't see
Yeah,
it
I
yet.
have to have faith in YouTube that it's actually up.
I don't see it yet.
It's up. It's up. Don't worry. All right. Welcome back to another live edition of Backcountry BSing here. This is a BSing we've talked about doing for quite a long time here, Mr. McMillan.
Yes.
So I'm glad we finally, and you have just a beautiful backdrop behind you, and the lighting. Of
Thanks.
course, your lighting is always on point. The lighting looks good. So we are joined today. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. There we go.
Yeah, that's my secret.
With Ben McMillan from Hilltop Packs, sir. And this is the new. You guys just moved into this.
Yeah, it's been a work in progress.
Right?
We've been, it's kind of confusing how we actually got to this point. I'm sure we'll get to that, but it's been a little crazy getting into the space we're in right now. But yeah, new space.
Yeah, not many people make big moves during COVID.
Sorry, we're just checking the stream.
I'm just making sure the front end looks good here.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we look great. Oh, I'm getting an ad on my own stream. Yeah. No, come on. All right, so you are. Yeah, this is we're golden. All right, sir. Sorry about that. So we're gonna get to Hilltop Packs, but I want to go.
You want to go deeper?
I want to go deeper because I like to learn about the man behind the packs. So you're located in. I know, right? So first, honestly, you've been someone that's on Shill Brothers' side for the last year.
Yeah,
and a big supporter of ours.
Yeah, and
so,
we appreciate everything
I
that
really
you've
do
done
appreciate
for us.
that.
Yeah.
And these things are pretty sweet.
Yes.
By the way.
Yeah.
You guys do the same thing for the cottage industry. We all appreciate that as well. So thanks for your support to us. They're working on our garages and stuff like that. So we appreciate that, guys.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I want to. So I know a little bit about you, just a little bit because we're Facebook friends. But I want to hear the story of how we got to Hilltop Packs because I know there's some DJing in there, there's some photography in there.
Yep.
But I want to hear. Let's go back. So have you always been into backpacking?
No, so I started backpacking about 5 years ago, and that pretty much started because of photography. So I'm kind of I guess considered still kind of a newbie. I feel kind of like a fraud, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm talking to guys that have been doing this for 20, 30 years, and here I'm making gear and I'm sending it to these guys. I'm trying to give them some advice on some of the stuff we make. But it is a little weird. I'm only 5 years in.
But
There's
that's
questions
okay.
I'm still asking of you guys and some other YouTubers of how does this feel? How does this work? And you guys give me any pointers. So I like making stuff. It kind of grew into that, but it started with photography. I wanted to get my gear a little farther out into the woods, go a little lighter, start making my own gear. So that's how that started there.
So you were.
Yeah. Have you always had the sewing skills to be able to make your own gear?
Yeah, so back in high school, we had a teacher in high school who was kind of on the prettier side. I don't want to say too much about her, but all the boys took sewing class, including myself. But I was the only dumbass that actually liked sewing. So while they're all talking to the teacher, I was in the back sewing myself a jacket and a shirt and a hat. Stuffed animals for my brother and sister at home. So yeah, so I don't know, it was kind of weird, but that's how that started. But since high school, just always been into making my own stuff and. Wasn't always backpacking, obviously, but a lot of other gear and covers for DJ equipment for speakers, and just it's cheaper to make it myself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that is cool.
So you got into backpacking because you were into photography and you wanted to go get out there and take sweet pics.
Yeah. So with photography, I like being a little bit different than everybody else. I don't want to do the same thing. I don't want to go to the same landmarks. I wanted to go. I don't want to take the same picture that everybody else has taken 100 times. I wanted to go 10 miles in the woods and find something unique and different. Excuse me, find something unique and different, and that's where I started taking, buying gear. I went to REI. I bought the biggest pack I could find.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to carry all of my equipment, which I'm sure you guys would try to do that too. Everything just felt so heavy, and so over 5 years, I just started kind of winding that down and started making some of my own gear. But it all started with photography, just trying to get out there and go a little bit further, just to get away from everybody and take pictures that no one else was taking. And I'm not a landscape photographer. I'm actually a wedding photographer. But I do enjoy landscape photography. I'm not the best, but it's fun for me. It's a nice break. It was.
Did you think you would get this into backpacking? Like running your own company into backpacking?
This is still kind of a fluke. I'll be honest with you. I have another business. I've been self-employed my entire life. I've always stayed busy with those businesses. This was not supposed to be a thing. And do you want me to say how it actually started?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's jump in.
Jump right into that part. So with my photography business, we have a bunch of employees. We do 400 weddings a year. We have our own print shop. We print for other photographers occasionally. So we have a lot of office staff. There's 8 people that work in the office. So we have our own print shop. So we know how to print. And we've always printed on unique materials, whether it's canvas or whatever. And so we have the capability to do all that stuff. So as I'm making backpacking gear, I started getting more in Dyneema and X-Pack and things like that. And I was just I was reading a data sheet on Dyneema and what was in it, because I wanted to actually cut it with a laser cutter. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to kill myself with the fumes. So I was reading the data sheet. And, there's some things in there. I was like, well, I could probably print on this kind of stuff. So I tested it out. Took us some trial and error, but I got to figure it out. So, and this was still for my personal use. I had no interest in selling it.
Mm-hmm.
But I made a bear bag, and everyone's bear bag is either at the time was like green or blue.
Right.
And I was like, I got to do something a little bit different. I don't like doing the same thing everybody else does. I get bored with that. So I printed a bear bag that had a bear on it as waving.
I've seen this.
I thought it'd be funny. So I posted on Instagram. I put it on a couple of Facebook groups. I put it on Reddit. And almost overnight, people start messaging me, wondering if I can make one for them. The same thing. And I made like probably 20 of them within just like a week or two's time. And then I just said, well, maybe there's something here. So I posted a few other pictures of stuff I've made. A few people asked for that. And then I think one of the pictures ended up one of the bags ended up in a YouTube video. I can't remember who it was first. So that exploded from that. And then within a month's time from posting that first picture, I backed up a second, got a business register. I said, maybe there's something here. I still just thought I would just do it on the side, me and my daughters, my wife at home, put a little shop together in the basement. Still didn't think much about it. And I just started doing more unique printing. Then we started doing custom printing for people. And that's when it really kind of exploded. And then some YouTubers started putting some, pictures on their bag, their YouTube channels on their bag. And then, honestly, I approached you guys. I know we talked briefly about this, but I messaged, I'm not even sure which one of you guys answered this, but I really wanted to put somebody's face on a bag. I thought there's no one else out there that's going to do that. They're going to think I'm an idiot. I never talked to you guys before.
Not us.
I was like, this is probably the weirdest way to open up a conveation. I didn't talk to you guys beforehand. I was like, hey, can I put your face on a couple of bear bags and send it to you?
Obviously, yes.
Sure. And you guys got them. And then, honestly, when you put them in your video and you called them face bags, that's what solidified the whole thing.
Yeah.
And just people started talking about face bags. And even if they weren't putting their own face on it, they started buying these bags. And that's probably where it really started taking off. Is through your channel. I know John Kelly had some stuff on his channel.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Stringer, a couple of early guys really helped out. And really, it was YouTube that made it really explode.
Yeah.
And we started early on, started thinking about how do we expand this out of our house, because it's still attached to our house. That shop's actually still there. There's still 4 machines there.
Oh, nice.
But we thought we could bring some people into our home. And this was probably around February. We started thinking about how can we expand this in our home and just bring 1 or 2 people in different shifts. And then COVID hit. And of course, we're not going to bring people in our home in mid-March. So that kind of changed those plans. And then just there's a bunch of other issues that kind of came into play, but we knew we had to expand because orders kept going up every week. And it honestly, sales have skyrocketed through this whole thing and not went down. They went down for 3 weeks. It was pretty rough for a bit, but then it jumped right back up. So I know I went a little bit long with that story, but
no, I was.
I do have a random question though. Has anybody bought our face bags?
No way.
People have asked as a joke. No one's actually.
You can sell them.
Yet, but
you can sell them.
Yeah,
obviously.
I thought I'd just put it on the website just to see if anybody buys. I have a bargain bin. Maybe I'll make a couple. Just put it in there, and I'll make. Here's what we'll do. I'll make one of Kevin, one of Andy. We'll see which one sells first.
Sells more. I like that, dude. That's hilarious.
So.
No, I was gonna ask you though. I was actually because we talked to Garage Grown Gear a couple days ago, but I was gonna ask you how the COVID thing has affected business. But it sounds like I mean there was a little dip, but then good.
Yes, and I can even just talk about the other business I have, my photography studio.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of crazy because both businesses immediately took a dive. My photography studio, we usually do about 400 weddings a year. At this point, we've lost, I think, 240 of those weddings. We only have 160 left. So that business was really hurting. And then this business took a dive immediately as well for 3 weeks. But then it started picking back up. And honestly, your sales are 7 or 8 times higher now than they were before all this started. So it is really growing fast.
Really?
Yeah. And I've actually talked to Lloyd of Garage Grown Gear, and I really want to work with him at some point. But him and I have been talking, and my business is still growing so fast. I can't stop and make gear.
Right.
I want to, and I do plan to at some point. He seems like a super nice guy. But we haven't plateaued yet where I can maybe go that route and get some stuff to him at a lower price point. We're still growing. It would just hurt business to go that direction. So I'm holding off on that.
That's so interesting, that trend, because Lloyd's in the exact same trend the other day.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And certain things, I feel for the photography and the wedding business in general right now. So is that starting to come back at least a little bit?
in the fall. So I'm in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania probably has some of the strictest
They
rules.
do have
We
very
some,
strict, yeah.
yeah, we actually do some weddings in Ohio. We do some weddings in Maryland, West Virginia. Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland kind of are on the same plan, I guess you could call it. And those weddings are still kind of going on, but downsized a little bit, like 50% capacity. The problem with Pennsylvania is our governor put in place a 25-person wedding limit inside,
Ooh,
and that
yeah.
has pretty much canceled all Pennsylvania weddings.
Mhm.
However, moving towards the fall here, last month and this month, a lot of venues have just tried to find ways to work around it, putting tents outside.
Yeah.
And so
okay.
our fall season isn't so bad. We're actually still doing about 80% of our weddings in October than we would have had normally. So
Oh, okay.
October is actually, it's not too bad, but the whole first half of the season was just gone, and that's nothing you can do about it. Just fight through it. And our motto has just been, adapt and move forward. That's all we can do.
Yeah, that's I felt for that. I mean, there are so many industries, but the wedding one in general, I was like, oh,
But I mean,
shit.
you're also affecting like catering, DJ.
It's a whole
yeah.
it's a whole sector. I mean, it's a
limo
DJs,
rental.
Yeah. As far as the wedding industry, venues obviously hitting it pretty hard. DJs are probably even worse because the first thing they cut off is the DJ because they no longer need it because they don't have a big crowd. So
yeah.
they're cutting off the DJs. And just the catering's obviously downsized. That hurts them. And when you can only operate at 50% capacity as a caterer, you just chopped off 50% of your sales. That
Yeah.
really hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even our packages have been downsized for like backyard weddings and things. And I don't want to go too far down the road with the photography thing, but if I didn't have Hilltop packs, I would have jumped off a bridge at some point.
Oh.
It got really bad.
Well, we don't want that.
Yeah,
to
we don't
happen.
want that.
How many people are working at Hilltop Packs now?
So right now, originally at my house, it was me and my wife, my two daughters, and we just kind of all rotated
Mhm.
part time. But no one was really. I mean, I was obviously full time as much as I could, but since things got busier and busier, my wife and I are definitely getting our 40 hours in plus. I'm doing 60 hours for that. My two daughters, my middle child, got a job at a Dunkin' Donuts, and she really wanted to do that a little more social instead of being in our basement sewing. So I understand that. And my oldest daughter is at Penn State. She's doing the online thing right now, but so she doesn't have time to do as much work there either. So I have a couple other people sewing from home. So
Mhm.
early on, it was just a mixture of part-time people. My mom was doing some stuff from her house. Another girl was doing some stuff from her house. But that's not sustainable. That was just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So now with the new shop and the home shop, because we're still operating both of them, in this shop, we have 4 people right now. Probably going to bring in another person part-time, maybe 2 people part-time in the evenings. We're still running 2 people at my house, me and my wife there. So it's right now 6 full-time people.
Wow.
And 2 or 3
Wow.
part-time people. Yeah.
That's
We're probably
awesome.
going to expand that as well.
That is so cool.
And one thing I wanted to bring up because I thought it was really cool was in March when you guys did the whole masks for Greene County thing. That was really cool. You made a lot of masks, and I thought
We
that
did.
was very cool.
And I won't go down that thing too much either, but we did it. It came from a good place. We wanted to do some good stuff, but
Yeah.
honestly, it gives a lot of exposure into it as well. And with backpacking, people start talking about it. That really helped us out as far as exposure. But obviously, we're doing it for a
Yeah.
real reason. It came from our heart. We really wanted to do it. But then, as you guys know, masks turned into some weird thing, man. And over the last month or two, can't even talk about it anymore. I was
Yeah.
pretty proud of what we did in our community because it wasn't just us. We had volunteers doing it. We had volunteers delivering. Our local sheriff's office was delivering
Yeah.
house to house, and a lot of people were involved in doing it. Close to 7,000 masks we made and delivered for free. Didn't charge anybody. A lot of good people involved, and now looking back, we can't even talk about it. I can't even post a thank you to the group of people that did it because they're all embarrassed that they were doing it because people bash them online.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a shame. I
Masks
don't know
are
if every state's like
political.
that, but it got very political, and it's a shame. But I still feel really good about it. I'm glad we did it. Helped a lot of people. We started before it became mandatory or a law
Yeah.
or whatever you want
Mhm.
to call it for a mandate. We did it way before all that because we just wanted to help some older folks who couldn't buy them at the store. But it was a good cause. We're proud to be a part of it, but we've since have stopped. It just
It's
got a little too crazy.
You got another good cause going right now too, donating 10% back to.
Yes.
I was gonna say you're also the only
Was it-
people that I've
was it-
seen that printed an Instagram post on a mask.
Yeah.
That was a real mask, by the way. We really did do that. Now the bag we just made, that was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 10% thing that came about
Back
with a
to public
conversation
lands.
from if I could name drop for a section, but Darwin. I talked
Yeah,
to
of
Darwin
course.
a little bit.
Yeah, go for it.
He's really trying to push people and some companies into giving back, and some of them already are.
Right.
And I don't know which ones they are, but he just wanted to kind of make it more of an industry thing, and he's hoping more people get involved in it, and I hope they do as well. So he was talking about some numbers and what can you do, and I talked to my accountant. He gave me some numbers. And my accountant suggested a much lower number. It just didn't sound very good. So I went ahead and bumped it to the full 10%, and then did the math, and I about shit my pants. That's a lot of money, but I still think I think it's a good cause, and it feels good to do it, and we're glad to be a part of it. But with Darwin kind of pushing that one and talking to some other companies, I think you're going to see more companies doing it as well.
Nice.
I
That's
mean,
awesome.
it's like we can only use cool gear if there's places to go that are protected
Yeah,
and
exactly.
available.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
That's a good push by the industry to do that sort
it's
of thing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because there's plenty of times I've been on trips and I'll see a piece of garbage on the trail and I'll be like, and I'll swear about it and I'll keep on going. And I'll cuss. And I was like, I should have stopped and cleaned it up. I don't always do that. Or maybe I should go out and volunteer more. So this is my way to kind of solve some of those problems
Yeah.
instead of just complaining about it.
So speaking of going out there, you got any backpacking trips lined up?
I hope so. So last time I was out was March. I went with backpacking with
Is that with Jason?
John Kelly, and Jeremiah Stringer. And I had a few plans throughout the summertime, but honestly, things have just been so busy. I have not been able to get out there. But I
Yeah.
do plan to go out at least once this month and once next month. I do plan to get out there. Probably going to be Dolly Sides is where we're probably.
That's a
Have
fantastic.
you been there before?
That's my spot. Yeah, many times. That's my
Okay.
go-to spot. I like to go by myself sometimes. Go
Yeah.
friends sometimes. Just kind of depends. But I have no problem going out by myself. But that is my spot for sure.
That'll be good. That'll be good colors too. Should
And
be.
that's kind of what I'm trying to hope for. It's starting
Yeah.
to turn right now. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it lasts more than a week or so.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get down there and take some pictures.
Yeah. Jason, after you guys went on that trip, Jason and Jeremiah texted us and they gave you very passing grades.
Yeah.
As a
guys
backpacking
are-
companion.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're super fun. And you guys went to Red River Gorge, right?
Yeah, that was the first time I'd been down there. Jason's a super nice guy. You know, and everybody jokes, but he's like the tour guide for
Yeah,
the
he
gorge.
is.
And he really is. He knows a lot of stuff about it. And but hearing like him and Jeremiah, those guys, they all know each other. Busting each other's balls was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I tried to join in. Hopefully, it wasn't too abrasive being the new guy, but yeah, I may have been a little harsher than I probably should have been. But we had fun.
Yeah, I mean, Jason, Jeremiah, John Kelly, like the
They're
nicest people,
pretty nice crew.
the
guys
nicest
there.
people in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get another thing on the books with them, but it's just been hard. And COVID throws a weird wrench into like group meeting up with people, you know, because it's like, I don't know, it's like kind of weird, but it's also backpacking and you're outside, so it's like you'd think it's a low risk thing, but I swear to God, John Kelly gave me coronavirus last time. so like,
I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt. I so badly wanted to make another shirt because last time I was on your show, I had a shirt that said something on it. If you guys,
It
Team
says
Andy.
Team Andy.
So what I was trying to think of something silly to do this time, and I know you guys did some like barbecue videos.
You're right.
and
Oh,
cooking
yeah.
videos. So I was thinking of something earlier in the week, and I yelled at my wife. I was downstairs, yelled to my wife up the stairs, said, "Hey, where can I get a chef's hat and an apron?" I was going to custom print like the.
Oh,
like,
that's
the-
cool.
on it. And she yells back, she's like, "I don't know, but whatever you're doing, don't tag me in it." Embarrassed constantly by what I do, but I couldn't get it, so maybe next time.
No, you're very creative, and you do have good Photoshop skills. But one thing I ask every person that we talk to that's in the gear industry, and I feel like this is a good question
I know.
for you.
This is upcoming stuff.
So, because you're into innovating and doing new things, but what do you think is going to be the biggest or the newest trend or the biggest thing or gear related in backpacking in the next like 5 to 10 years? Because like 10 years ago, if I would have asked you this, some people would be like, "Oh, Dyneema is going to like blow up," or like frameless packs. But what do you think? What do you think is going to be big? Is there anything you see? Like, what are your thoughts on that as someone who makes gear?
Yeah, so I don't know that you can get much lighter than Dyneema. I mean, that's pretty light stuff, but Dyneema has had some problems as far as just the supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
Over last winter, we had a lot of problems getting in certain types of Dyneema, which really held us up doing some of the backpacks we're making early in the season. And then it started to get better, and then COVID hit, and then it got worse again. And it's still kind of sketchy depending on what kind of Dyneema you want to use. So maybe other fabrics that are similar to that, because it feels like one place makes it and distributes it, and a couple of distributors in the United States that work with it, and it's just either that supply chain's going to get fixed, or someone else is going to jump in and kind of take over that part of the market, the ultra light, ultra strong. And they have X-Pack and stuff like that, but that stuff's hard to like seam tape. So maybe just I still think materials. I think there's still room to grow in the materials department.
Okay.
So someone told me, you might know if this is true, that Dyneema, they lay like the strands by hand. Do you know if that's true?
I don't know if it's by hand. It's definitely.
But it's like a very manually intensive process. That's part of why it's so expensive.
I mean, it's a lot of it's obviously it's mechanical. There's a lot of machines involved. I personally don't know, but I don't think it's like one person laying a strand.
No.
But
Okay.
it is a lot of individual strands. And
Okay.
I honestly don't know the entire process. I've watched a few videos and read a few things about it, but it is a pretty labor-intensive process, which is why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's one guy going.
I was like,
that's
that'd
a
be
lot of strands.
really expensive.
I would not want that job.
What is what is X-Pack?
I honestly don't know. I've only made a few things with X-Pack, just prototyping stuff. I don't really know much about it. I know I can still print on it, so I've tested that. We may get into some X-Pack backpacks at some point, but honestly, we're still kind of behind on a lot of production with this year just being a little bit crazy, trying to get into the new shop. But just getting to this point was a challenge, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I do want to get into more X-Pack stuff for sure, but mainly with the backpack.
And what is like what are the arc hulls made out of? Ripstop?
It's not true
Like,
Dyneema.
It's like not Dyneema. Is that what X-Pack is? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's not X-Pack. So they have. I think you can get that in a couple of different versions through Z-Packs. I think they have a couple different things you can get.
There's a name for it's not like Ripstop. It's
like grid stop stuff. There's different kinds.
So what is so X-Pack is like a different. This material science is very interesting to me.
X-Pack, I believe, is still laminated. So it's still waterproof. The material itself. It's the seams that are hard to kind of seam tape.
Okay.
With Dyneema, there's a layer of I'm not even sure what exactly it is on both the front and back. It's kind of sandwiched all together. Basically, it's laminated. That makes it easier to tape. But something about the lamination they use on X-Pack, I think, is only on one side. I don't think they laminate both sides like they do with Dyneema, which is why you can't tape it. I could be wrong on all that, but that's what I think it is.
Grid stop was what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
that's what Z-Packs calls it.
No, so one thing I want to talk about too is your packs don't get enough love from us. Like I feel like you're the printed Dyneema bag. Like
I know.
We're talking about your packs for a little bit. Like
you have some really pretty packs.
Yeah, so the packs, the thing is we make a ton of bear bags. That's probably our biggest thing is the bear bags.
Everybody says
little
that.
Pocket gadget bags.
Yeah.
But as far as the packs, we've only had maybe 3 or 4 YouTubers buy them so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not at the point where I can start giving them away to get more exposure for them just yet. There's a couple of guys I've talked to that said once we get caught up, I'll definitely shift it through a couple guys out there who want to review it. I have this already picked out. But it's hopefully moving forward now we can start streamline that process because we have been behind production wise. I do have a pack right here. I'm glad you brought it up. And I'm not sure if she's listening to you guys right now, but Lisa Williams, you guys know who she is?
Oh yeah,
she's in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, so
shout out to Lisa.
Shout out to Lisa.
And I was supposed to send this to her a month ago, but my plan was I held on to it so I could do some pictures in the shop. But it took so long to get the shop up and running. I thought I would just do it right here, right now. So this is actually Lisa's pack.
Oh, nice.
Lisa.
All right, Lisa.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's critique Lisa's choices.
That's
yeah,
it.
So
that's
we
cool.
have
Yeah.
this crazy blue design on the top and
Yeah.
blue jig material on the side, but it's all custom printed.
It's very cool.
Got the pad on the back.
Oh,
with
that's
some
sweet.
Stuff here.
Yeah, I like
we make
that.
front straps and everything. Got the hip belt pockets, adjustable pockets, and we went with the elastic on the outside, but then just a jersey mesh kind of stuff for the pocket stuff, which is also adjustable. So that's her pack.
I like the look of that.
Yeah,
that
Lisa,
blue,
you're getting a solid pack.
That's
there.
really cool.
Yeah.
So I'll send this out to you on Monday, Lisa.
There you go,
now
Lisa.
we got that out of the way.
That's pretty. So would you say this is a question Andy always asks, like what is your like your go-to item that gets sold all the time? You refer to what keeps the lights on.
Yeah, what keeps the lights
on?
on?
Is that bear bags?
We sell a ton of bear bags, and both just regular stock bear bags and printed bear bags. And we were actually a little behind on some of the Dyneema, and we have another big shipment coming in this week that was going to save our butts because we were running really low. But that just the supply chain's just been disrupted. I'm sure you talked to other vendors, and the same thing.
They've
It's been
said
kinda
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. There's some people that have been waiting 30, 40 days for an order. We're just waiting on that Dyneema to get here.
Yeah.
But last week we had a big shipment coming in. Another one is on its way right now, tomorrow or Tuesday. And tomorrow will be the first full day everybody's in the office at the same time. So we did start here 2 weeks ago working full time, but now the full staff will be here tomorrow, hit the ground running, and should be caught up within just a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Pretty exciting.
What's the this is another thing I wanted to ask you. What's like the weirdest or funniest thing someone's wanted you to print?
That was a
on
question. That
Dyneema?
was a question.
Oh,
in
that
the
was a
chat.
question in the
Yeah,
chat?
that was a question.
Okay.
Oh, I've printed pictures of naked dudes already.
Really?
What?
Really?
And it always starts with the same thing. It's like, I don't know if you'll do this or not. I always write back, I am not the police. I don't care. And then I get picture back of his butt or something like that. Yeah, that's probably one of the weird. And it's been a couple of guys doing it. And it's always dudes. You know, where are the girls at? No,
Should we put our asses on some packs and send them to somebody? That'd be kind of funny. That's really funny. I did not expect that. I thought maybe some funny things. I didn't expect dudes' asses.
Yeah, what it is, it's like, you know, the guys like to get naked and stand on a peak somewhere. It's
Oh,
that,
yeah.
It's not just a big old butthole on it.
I was like, some dude like spread ass on a bear bag. That'd be really funny, actually. No naked chicks have been like sent you pictures and be like, hey man, yeah.
I think my wife got to all them before they got to me.
I'm trying to give my husband something for his birthday. I want you to put me naked on a bear bag.
Shoot.
But you must get all sorts of like weird requests for stuff to people to print for you, right?
Yeah, so and what we do is we take their pictures and we'll do some, you know, slight modifications editing wise to make it look as good as it can. So we can take a cell phone picture, we can take almost any quality photo and print it pretty well. 'Cause it's almost like printing on canvas. Where canvas, you don't have to have a high resolution photo to print on canvas because you have that grain in the canvas. So I can do some sharpening that's going to make it look good on the bag, even if it's a crappy Instagram photo or something like that, or Facebook.
Yeah.
We can still make it look pretty good.
Yeah, you did. The face bag picture I sent you was literally a selfie from my phone, and then Andy's was like a screen grab in the video, and I thought you did a really good job.
Yeah, here's a screen grab from video. We're still able to kind of sharpen it up enough
Yeah.
to make it look good, and that's where you just kind of sharpen the edges, the lines that you visibly see in the photo. If you look at it on the screen, it looks pretty horrid, but when you print it,
It looks
not so
good.
bad.
And you know what's crazy? Well, this isn't crazy at all, but we've used your printed bags a lot, and
We
there's
have.
no degradation.
Yeah, we have,
Nothing's
actually.
falling apart.
It
was-
was permanent.
It
Yeah.
was
Sometimes it's gonna-
actually.
It only fade when that Dyneema itself starts to degrade, which I don't know what that lifespan is, but it's permanent. It's baked into that Dyneema. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it was really funny actually. We went on a trip last weekend with my neighbor and his fly fishing buddies, and he was like, "Hey, can I borrow a bag?" I was like,
You made him use your face bag.
"Yeah." I was like, "I got a bag for you," and I didn't tell him. And and it was pretty funny. I was like, "It's my face." He's like, "Oh my god!" It was actually really funny. It would have been funnier if it was my ass, though. now that you bring that up,
I'm gonna write that down as a Christmas present. Right. Ass bag.
no, I thought, oh, the ass bag.
The ass bag.
Oh man, that's good. Could you imagine you're just at camp and you hang up a bag and it's just raw ass
the
on
front's
it?
the face and then the back is the ass.
Oh my god! I thought you'd.
We have to figure out whose ass is whose.
I also thought we had a couple. We made a couple face bags for Travis and David too, and I thought the ones you made for them were really good too. I thought those turned out really well. Yeah, they loved them. I mean, we went backpacking with them and we strung those up, and we're like, we gotta get some face bags for you guys.
Yeah.
we're like, we'll get you some face bags. I thought it's a good trend, but no one else has requested their face on a bag. Are we the only faces?
Oh no, I've done a couple.
You
I
have
done a couple. And I've seen people post them on Instagram. So I think we shared a couple of maybe. I think it's gonna be less than 10. I mean, we've done a lot of bags, but probably actual faces of just like a single person. I've done families. I've done people's wives. I've done their kids, but never like their own face. I've done maybe 10 of people like of their own face.
Yeah,
and it's because of you guys. I don't think anyone else
good
thought
trend.
did it on their own.
There needs to be a
I think they
face
saw
pack
yours and
next.
just decided to do it.
A face pack is the next step in the face
I
evolution.
did do a face pack.
Did you really?
Yeah. So, oh man, what's the guy's name? It was a pack I made earlier in the year, and he's actually makes some YouTube videos. So his pack, when he wears it, his face, normal face, is facing forward. The side of his pack has his face looking back, and it does look pretty cool. It's a custom pattern I made with like purple and some different colors. And it's like a custom camo, but then his face, just like the profile of his face, is facing backwards. It looks pretty badass.
That's
So
cool.
how did you like all this like Photoshop stuff? Did you just figure? Is this a byproduct of being a photographer? Like, how did you get good at this?
Yeah, just self-training. We do a lot of training videos at our studio and stuff like that. Just kind of over the years, growing with Photoshop. I mean, I've been using Photoshop for 15 years, so
yeah.
It's no formal school or anything, but just you can YouTube almost anything.
Yeah.
You
Have
can
you
do backpacking?
Have you been a photographer for 15 years?
Yeah. So before that, I was a wedding DJ, believe it or not.
I've seen
And
those
so
pictures on Facebook, Ben.
Yeah. So I did some nightclub DJing for many years. I did some traveling. I traveled across the country with some DJing. But I had a photography studio in my house where I did like my family photos, some extended families, just people in the neighborhood. So I was into photography for a very long time. It was about 15 years ago. After 15 years of DJing weddings, I had someone ask me if I would actually photograph their wedding. This was still on film. That's how
Oh
I'm old as shit.
wow, nice.
Yeah, so I shot the first wedding on film, and I hated it. It was terrible. But that was around the same time I was switching to digital. So around 2004, I switched to digital that year, and I shot another wedding that season, and then I absolutely loved it. Slowed down the DJing, just basically transferred over to photography within about a year or two's time, and the rest is history as far as that switch from DJing to photography. And I absolutely love the wedding industry. I really do. It's been a long time. It kills your weekends, but I love it.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I always see you Friday nights, but you're always working.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're like always working weddings.
If I get an alert on my phone, I'll chime in. I'll click on your link that you guys have a live video, but I can't hear anything. So I'll just say something stupid. Or,
Yeah.
I love you, Andy, or something. Just I have no idea what he's saying.
Did you so where are you from originally?
Pennsylvania. So Waynesburg is about an hour south of Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
So if you guys drive straight to Pittsburgh, make a right, go straight down 79, we're an hour south of Pittsburgh. We're about half hour north of Morgantown, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're 4 hours away from Dolly Sods, where I'm at.
Uh,
There's really no big trails around here. We have one big trail. It's like 44, 45 miles long, goes through our county, but it's all on private property. It's not very popular, but I've done it, most of it at this point, but not straight through.
Where like where is like your dream backpacking? Like, have you ever been out west?
No, I that's the thing. I mean, I'm only 5 years in. I'm still exploring West Virginia.
Yeah.
There's
There's a
I go
lot.
down there.
And
There's
Pennsylvania.
West Virginia and Pennsylvania is
And
beautiful.
where you are in Pennsylvania with the access to West Virginia, you're actually in a pretty good, much better than where we live. You're in a pretty good spot for getting to really cool backpacking.
I've done the Laurel Highlands hiking trail. I've done that one, but I bailed after like day 4, day 3. Towards the end of that, it was like a really hot stretch, and I got to a campsite. Have you guys been there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was I was counting on some water being there with the well, and I had passed up a water source. I'm thinking there's a well, I'll be fine, and then the well wasn't working.
Ooh.
And I was hurt. I was already in bad shape at that point. Woke up the next day and I was like, I could go like 12 more miles to the next water source. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna call the wife. So I just kind of hung out. She came pick me up. It was like maybe 2-hour drive for her to get me, but I do want to go back and redeem myself on that one.
Well, being out of water is a dangerous situation. So.
We actually were.
I wasn't feeling real good.
Yeah.
We were.
That was.
No, that's tricky. We've done like 2/3 of the Laurel Highlands Trail.
I've done the whole thing.
He's done the whole thing. Yeah, I think I've done like 40 for 2 months. No, it's funny you say that because we were actually considering going there in like a couple weeks, but all the shelters were booked. It's a cool. First off, that trail is not easy.
No, it's
not. Rocky and it's not flat, but the shelter system is very cool and very unique. And we were thinking about going back there in a couple weeks, but the shelters are all booked, so we got to find a place to go.
Hey,
the only thing I didn't like about that trail system that I didn't know about, because I'm used to backpacking through West Virginia, and West Virginia, you just kind of go until you find a used campsite and you can stay there. At Pennsylvania, you get to register your sites ahead of time.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd hike one day. You get to the trailhead where the camping area is going to be. You may have to hike another mile or two to get to where the camp is. And I was like, I didn't know that.
I know.
So that screwed up, my timeline of what I wanted. So it's getting dark. I'll hike until it gets dark, take my time, take some pictures. Get to where the trailhead is, like, oh, I got 2 more miles to the camp or whatever it was, another mile. And that was a little frustrating. I didn't quite understand that. So Pennsylvania's a little weird, but it was nice. Liked it.
Yeah, Laurel Highlands has that one campsite that's literally a mile off the trail.
Yeah, they don't tell you
down
that,
there. You walk down the gravel road for a while.
Yeah. That does suck when you're like, I'm gonna get to camp.
And the worst is,
like, oh shit.
And the worst is the next day you're like, oh cool, I have a mile.
I know
hike.
to go back out.
Before you get started.
Yeah. But at least you live close to that sort of stuff. We got to hike.
Yeah.
We got to drive to anywhere. We have a 3 to 4 hour drive minimum to anywhere that's even like remotely cool, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And we always talk about how Pennsylvania and West Virginia, like the quality of outdoor recreating in both of those states is so much better than Ohio. Have you ever been to Central Ohio for your wedding biz?
Yeah, I mean, I've been almost everywhere.
It's
I've been
super flat. There's like no outdoorsy stuff. It's cornfields for like miles on end. So we have to drive out of here, which kind of sucks. But so we're always envious of people who live in Pennsylvania, and you live in southern Pennsylvania. We're like, oh, those guys, they can drive. You're 2 hours from Laurel Highlands. I guess that's still pretty far.
God, 2 hours from Laurel Highlands. I'd probably be on there every weekend.
And Ohio Power is. I'm only
Yeah.
like an hour and 10 minutes from Ohio Power,
Yeah.
so that end I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
I get up there all the time, hit those local trails. There's pretty nice.
Have you ever done the rafting in Ohio Pile?
Yeah, a couple times.
It's pretty fun. It's a cool little
Yeah.
spot.
It's probably been 10 years since I've been up there on that, but love whitewater rafting for sure.
Any cool or I don't want you to spill the beans on anything, but any new like products you're developing for Hilltop packs, or are you just kind of trying to catch up?
I mean, I have several that we've wanted to put out there, but again, it's like we've had these, Dyneema shortages, I guess I'll call it, supply chain issues. We had that, even though most of them have been kind of fixed, but knowing we have to get into a bigger shop, and I'll talk about that in a second, but we have a nice fanny pack we've made, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I've only a couple of guys have it right now, and I just haven't released it yet because I wanted to get into this shop so I can actually get like 50 or so made before I even put it out there. And so we just been behind on production like all year. We just can't get ahead. So I don't want to put anything else out there until we're actually caught up and get normal lead times on the way. But the next one's going to be a fanny pack for sure.
Nice.
We have about 20 of them made, just, but I want to get more done.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the move into
the
the new shop.
Yeah, the original plan, I own 4 leases from other business. It's a pretty big, I don't say complex, but we have like a gallery, we have a print shop, we have a portrait studio, we have a photo booth company. So we have a lot of space. We have a warehouse. Our original idea was to move Hilltop Packs into one of those spaces. We have a lot of extra space. And that was probably early in the year. But then as soon as COVID hit around the same time, we started getting like some problems with the building. There was a leak in the roof. Then we had some electrical issues there. Landlord wasn't very attentive. Then we had some water issues, and just things start piling up. And I don't know if hopefully he's not a Show Brothers fan. Listening to
He's not.
He's not.
Yeah, so he lives in another state, and he's just not fixing anything. So it's getting a little frustrating. So we decided not to put Hilltop Packs there. We already started ordering all the equipment. We've had it for a while. And so we decided to go ahead and pull out of that place altogether and move McMillan Photography to another space and move Hilltop Packs to another space.
Oh.
Then that space for Hilltop Packs actually fell through. So we decided to share the same space, the new space for McMillan Photography. We're actually on the upper level of McMillan Photography right now of the new space.
Oh,
nice.
It's literally taken us 2 months from like the time we started to get up here. And then once we're here, now we have electrical issues here too. It's like these electrical issues keep chasing us around. So trying to move our print shop has been the biggest problem. That's the biggest power hungry place. We need a lot of power. And that's 3 floors down from where we are right now. And that's supposed to be fixed today. It's still not done. Hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday, so we can get everything up here.
Does your power just like cut out randomly?
Yeah. What does it do?
Yeah. So you can't run a lot of machines on. There's more lines connected to each other, more like little outlets. I'm not an electrician, sorry. There's more outlets connected to each other than I realized. So you turn one machine on, and all of a sudden you find out you can't run 3 more over here because they're all in the same line.
Yeah.
This room's been fixed, but the basement where the print shop's going to be has a lot of issues, and we have new lines run. They just need all tied in, and that's hopefully going to happen Tuesday or Wednesday. So I can't show you the print shop yet today, but I can show you the rest of this shop in a little bit. So long time coming, a lot of setbacks, but these are all good problems to have. I'm not going to complain too much.
So there was a request in the chat asking if you can show the fanny pack. Is that possible?
Oh.
I would, but actually it's not even here. It's actually at the other shop. It's at we still have our home shop too. We're working out of there. So it is that's gonna be our prototype shop, and maybe some backpack stuff. But I can show that. I'll show some pictures here pretty soon.
There you go.
Not today.
I want to ask I want to ask a curveball question.
Oh.
It's not a curveball question. I want to talk to you. What do you think? So the last like 2 years, ever since we started this channel 4 years ago. I never realized before getting into YouTube, like how much basic photography skills matter with shooting video. That was like a big thing for me. I know you know this.
Oh, yeah,
you shoot good video.
It's huge. So anybody wants to get into video, I tell everybody go to photography first. It's a lot of the same stuff.
Photography first.
But there's a few other little things with video you got to know about as well. But if you can learn photography first, you're going to know your shutter speed. You're going to know aperture. You're going to understand ISO. All these things translate very well to video. But then you also have to think about the shutter speed with video. So that's the extra little curveball and how you apply that to video. And lighting is obviously a big thing, but if you can learn lighting with photography, that directly applies to video as well. Like I do have a light right here. It's about a 45-degree angle, a little above my head. I don't know if you can see that there.
Oh, nice.
But also have window light over here. We are losing some daylight, but lighting's a big deal. Even for still on a webcam, might as well have some decent lighting.
What's the trick with shutter speed for video? I shoot double the frame rate and shutter speed.
There you go.
Is that what I'm okay?
Yeah, that's what
I'm
you got to
good.
do. And here's the thing. Most people are not going to notice the jitteriness
Like
or
the- and
the
the
extra
blur.
sharpness of the video.
Yeah.
So what it is like when your hand's moving, a little bit of blur,
Mhm.
that's what you want to see, a little bit of blur. So if you could picture, you say 24 frames a second. I'm gonna give everybody a lesson right here. So you say you have 24 frames a second. That means your camera is taking 24 pictures every second. Okay. But if that picture is static and very sharp, and it's I'm gonna draw a picture of Andy.
You're gonna make me fat.
The white the white.
Yeah, so this is Andy. So if you shoot a really high shutter speed, you're gonna see every single individual frame being super, super sharp. But what you really want to see when you watch movies and stuff, you see a little bit of motion blur from frame to frame. So he's a little blurry in the frame. And that's what you want to see. So most people won't notice that. But if you want to know why your video doesn't look as good as like a actual movie or like a high-end video, it's that shutter speed difference, and paying attention to that and locking that in, like doubling that frame rate, like you said. That's what's going to make your video kind of stand out from everybody else. And then color grading, all that kind of stuff, that's different.
I've just started doing that because
Yeah.
I just got a nice new camera.
We
set
should
up.
have a segment like once a month called photography lessons with
Well,
Ben.
and honestly, the point of me asking this question was I wanted to know what you think, because like mirrorless is the hot rage in cameras. Like, what do you think is going to be big in photography in the next like 5 years? That's where I was going with this.
Sure. So I'm old school. I still like my DSLRs for
Nice.
photography, but for video, we shoot all mirrorless stuff for video. We shoot Sony for mirrorless. We shoot Nikon for photos. But honestly, there's a lot of people in my studio that actually shoot Canon.
I was gonna say, why do you
We
hate
have-
Canon? If you shoot Nikon and Sony, is Canon bad? I'm shooting Canon, Ben.
Oh no, they're honestly at this point they're all good. I mean, even your cell phone does a pretty
I know.
damn good job. Technology is crazy anymore. But we have guys that shoot Canon. I've just been shooting Nikon for years. I'm pretty invested in it. I think I was with I shot Olympus way back in the day, back when they used to make
nice.
digital cameras. They don't do that anymore, but I switched to Nikon. But honestly, anymore, you get whatever camera you can afford, shoot the crap out of it. Don't upgrade until you know you've maximized everything out of that camera and you know exactly what you're missing. If you don't know what you need exactly, you probably don't need to upgrade yet.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm
Good
just
advice.
now the last like 6 months. I'm trying to get like much better at photography, at like principles of photography, because that translates directly to like film, like video, and that's something I never realized like years ago.
Yeah,
That,
just frame it, just learn how to frame your
the
shots and the stuff
like
that.
all
That's
that
a big thing.
stuff. So I was looking forward to talking to like an actual professional photographer about that, because I know it's cool. It's really hard. You understand why people are like really good photographers, because like it's not easy to do. And I've seen I've seen your videos you make. You make really good videos. You need to upload more videos to YouTube. Your video skills
Well,
are really good.
I'm kind of lazy, so a lot of the stuff this is kind of funny. So I own a photography studio. I could do some really high-end photography. Everything for Hilltop packs, every Instagram picture, every Facebook picture, website has been taken on my phone.
That's
Yeah.
hysterical.
Yeah,
That
I
is
swear I've never used
hysterical.
the camera, and just because I'm just fast, I just want to keep on
Yeah.
going. And people work here make fun of me. I'm using the cell phone. I'm a professional photographer, using the cell phone for the pictures. But for video, if I'm doing a paid project, I'll bring out all the big gear. But if I'm just doing some little shop videos, again, go straight to the phone. My trip videos, when I do backpacking trips, I use a little Sony action cam for the most part. I might take my drone up from the parking lot, get a few aerial
Yeah.
shots, put it back in the car, and then I don't hike with my drone at all. It's just too heavy. I'm kind of lazy when I'm backpacking. I just use my little Sony action cam, and it's good enough.
But aren't you taking like a legit DSLR with you out there?
I do, but
So
I
you
like
don't film
what
on
I do
it?
with my little. I know it's kind of confusing, but I like taking pictures with my DSLR, but then take the video of me taking the picture with my other action cam. So I'll hang the action cam in a tree. I'll walk out and I'll take a picture of a landscape of a creek or something like that. So I do take
Okay.
both cameras, but I don't film video with the big camera.
Do you
Laziness.
so I have a new Canon. So we shot all our trip videos for the last like year on a very small Canon mirrorless camera. We're gonna still do that, but I'm taking a much bigger Canon mirrorless camera, and I'm looking at your chest rig that you've got.
Sure.
So you use that. I mean, you stick your DSLR in that, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
everybody,
absolutely. And I'm still using the old prototype I made years ago, but the ones I make now are much better. If we can customize it, you can do
Put my
something. You
ass
have
on
like
it?
a little, take like a Gorilla Pod or something. There's a strap on the side for the Gorilla Pod. You could do that, and it's roll top. So the problem with zippers, the zippers are going to get a little bit of water in there no matter what you do.
right.
Roll top's going to keep it out. I can't call it waterproof, but it pretty much is.
Everybody
I see
uses
weather resistant.
Everybody's using, and they scare me. Those Peak Designs clips.
Yeah, how
And
I have one, and I like it for lighter cameras, but I don't know how some of these guys carry
Right.
bigger cameras on the clip. It hurts my chest.
yeah,
It hurts my boob,
And
man.
the-
It's like
the,
right here, and it's like sagging, it's pushing
the-
down, and I can feel it.
the Canon
That's a lot.
camera like I have is not small, and it would
Yeah.
fit in a chest rig. But I see people like in Becker. I mean, I feel like that I've never used either. Because in the N50s, we can keep the M50s in a hip belt pouch because they're so small. But this one won't go in there. So I either have to do the chest thing or the Peak Designs clip. And I just feel like that would like bang against it. I don't know.
What's the new camera you got?
EOS R6.
Somebody asked in the chat.
There you go.
Canon EOS R6. And
there we go.
It'll all fit. But I do like that Peak Design clip, but it's just for heavier cameras. I shoot Pentax for my landscape stuff, and I have a really big Pentax 4-frame camera. I think it's like 40 megapixels, something like that. So it's a decent landscape, but the lenses are heavy, the camera's heavy, and I have a Peak Design for my mirrorless Sony cameras. Tried it. It is just way too heavy. It's not gonna work.
Okay, we're gonna get my ass on one of those DSLR things you've got.
Yeah.
I can put your face on it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I am gonna buy one of those things.
Yes.
That's a power move right there. I'm gonna put my ass on there. Oh, that's funny. That's hysterical. No, but I am. I was looking at we started okay, this is the evolution of our YouTube channel. We started with a GoPro. Have you ever used a GoPro?
Sure.
And the GoPro is great, but we were carrying our cell phones.
It wasn't that good.
The GoPro is good for what it's good for. It's not needed for us.
No.
So then we switched to the cell phones, and we did the cell phones for like a solid year.
Nah, less than that. We did a couple. We did our whole Colorado Trail on cell phones, and then a few other small things.
Yeah, and honestly, from a weight perspective, cell phones make the most. But then it's like when you do this enough, you're like, oh, it's worth £1 if I can get an actual camera. So then we went to then we had a Canon 80D that I took on 2 trips. I took to Dolly Lodge, which was like
camera.
It's like a brick though. And then we found the M50s. Have you ever seen an M50?
Yeah, my friend has one. It's a nice little camera.
They're so tiny, and that I still think that is the best weight to quality you'll get. I don't know. It's so small.
I agree with you. A friend of mine has it. And if you're gonna use that camera, the Peak Design clip is probably perfect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even bother using the bag. I would use that clip for that. It would actually work well. But if you're gonna use a full frame, a bigger camera, I should say.
So now I have a full. It's just like the evolution of, and then and I like on our last trip, I brought the EOS R6 with a big lens and the drone.
Yeah,
and I brought a tripod now.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
Well,
I got Devin at Backcountry Exposure.
Devin's here.
Devin. So Devin, shout out to Devin.
What's up, Devin?
Devin's
a cool dude.
like literally probably 7 months ago in the Facebook group we're in, he dropped this is the best tripod to take backpacking, and I saved that link, and I meant to DM him on Instagram. I bought that tripod like 2 weeks ago, and I took that with us to Cranberry, and it was, I literally brought 10 pounds of camera gear, which I would never bring on most trips, but we were going on a fishing trip.
When you see
base camping.
When you see the video, you'll understand.
But it was
that tripod. Is it that 1 pound tripod?
Yeah.
Starts with an A. I have the same tripod. It is a pretty sweet, but you got to be careful because it's a little sketchy.
And it's
only a little bit.
It's only 28 inches, so
that's all you need.
It's all you need. I was a little worried at first, but and it's not like. It's light, but he felt it. Like I
didn't think it was that light.
Super shitty Amazon Basics aluminum tripod that's probably lighter than this.
It's definitely
But it's got
lighter.
a ball head mount. So anyway, I brought like 10 pounds of camera gear, which I've never done before, but it was awesome. Having the drone was sick. This EOS setup is like 6 pounds. Plus the tripod was like 10 pounds of camera gear. And I'm like, I could never do this on a backpacking trip, but it was pretty sweet to have.
We were on our bikes.
Just to have on bikes. And if you're like base camping, I don't know. I'm like, well, now it's just it's a dangerous slope. Because like we were talking about doing Laurel Highlands. I'm like, I think I might bring the tripod. Like, why not? Why not? I don't know. But it's a constant battle with us to keep weight down, but to increase the quality of the footage we're taking. And like,
definitely,
it's worth it. I don't know. Sometimes it's worth it to like, lose a few pounds to like have a better customer experience.
Yeah, but I agree. But at the same time, like there's plenty of channels out there that shoot on like really,
I know,
like really, I don't want to say crappy gear because it's not crappy, but their videos are great.
I know it's more about what you're doing and where you're going.
Yeah.
Than
it's the content.
Camera.
Content is king. I don't care what you say. Content is king. If you're making good quality content, it doesn't really matter what you're filming on. But from a creative standpoint, I get you want it to be better quality. You want that. And I do that every day with my regular job. So sometimes when I'm backpacking, I don't care about quality. I just want to take my little action cam. It's light, it's easy, got a little bendy tripod on it so I can slam it into a tree real quick. And so that works well for me. But, I use that front pack, like I said, for the camera that I'm using to take photos. But depending on which camera you take, that clip might work for you.
Yeah. I'm worried about it. And then it's like, if that thing fails and your camera just drops off, hits the ground, I don't know. It's scary. So I want to get a little tour of the shop here.
I want to get a tour. There's some good comments.
Are there comments we should address? We always ignore the comments on these because we don't want to take away from our conversation with you.
So I'll say this. Go ahead and if you have any questions for Ben, go ahead and put them in there. Some of you guys have been putting it in there. Devin asked, strangest thing you've printed on for a customer, but we've
dudes' asses.
Yeah, we've already addressed that.
It was actually Devin that wanted his butt on the.
You know what? And knowing Devin, I 100% believe that.
Let me see here. A lot of love for you, Ben, and your company. The large bear bag is enormous.
It is enormous.
Yeah. Lots of good comments here about good.
Yeah, we do have a lot of good customers. Whenever I'll get an order, and it's pretty cool to see like in the comment section. They're not just saying like thank you. They're literally addressing me and my family, which is pretty cool. They're saying they love what you guys do, especially when the mask thing was going on. So that was really nice because I see all those orders coming through.
Yeah.
Here's a funny comment. This it says it's funny you guys think Ohio is a backpacking desert. Try Illinois.
And Indiana. I know. Yeah. I know. Sometimes I bitch about Ohio. And I'm like, at least it's not Indiana. Illinois too.
That tripod's amazing. Huck Outdoors is in here.
All right. So how about drop your questions for Ben in right now if you have them. Can you I want to see this place. Can you tour us around there?
Give you guys a little tour. So I'm going to try to unplug here from the power. I'm using a laptop. Now this is we're going to consider this like our temporary shop because there's another shop that's going to become available in like 6 months. We're probably going to move all this again. So I'm going to give you guys a little tour of what we have now.
Okay.
I'm going to try to turn this camera around.
Oh, you got it. I'm seeing the lighting.
Look at all these.
You have a lot of prints on the wall.
Yeah, just some stuff we had laying around. Can you guys see okay right
now? Yeah.
Are those Jukies?
Those Jukies.
So I'm going to kind of walk around. We don't have any Jukies here. Just I have a couple at home, but this is a console over here. This is like the triple feed machine that does like the backpack, some of the heavier material.
Okay.
This over here is a bar tacker. Can you guys see that? Okay?
Yeah.
It does a lot of your reinforcement.
Wait, what's it called? It's called a bar tacker.
A bar tacker. It does like the Xbox stitches and like reinforcing stitches. That stuff like what you see on your jeans.
Okay. All right. I was like, you're dropping a lot of sewing terminology here.
Yes, sir. This is, I don't know if you can see this thing.
I saw this.
Yes, that's
you made that, didn't you?
I made that. So what this thing does, we wrap 50 feet of cord for our bareback kits by hand. I don't know if you can see, we actually call it the greatest wrapper alive. I don't know if you can see that.
That's a DJ case, isn't it?
So it's an old turntable case. So when you push the button right here, it'll actually wind 50 feet of cord.
Dude, you made this?
I made that. I'm a nerd.
There's
a little computer in there. It tells it when to stop. There's a sensor on the take-up wheel, and it'll stop at 50 feet.
I feel like you could sell that. I feel like you could patent and sell this. That's cool.
I don't know. It's pretty ugly.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm too lazy to make a better version. That's good enough.
That's sweet.
So 50 feet.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
You just automated Bearline guy's job.
Yeah. So this here is a pedestal machine. This is like for our camera bags, the tops of our backpacks. This is a machine we don't use too often, but we use it enough that it's worth having it. This is a double needle machine over here. That's actually broke right. I got a part to fix it. It does like the tops of our bear bags because it puts 2 stitches in at one time, which is pretty slick.
Oh.
These are 3 main machines the workers work on. This does almost probably 90% of the work of like all the stuff we have, and they're super fast, all computerized. They all do a lot of auto features, auto cutting of all of our webbing. A couple other companies have these, and it's just you load it up with whatever you need, the webbing, ribbon, set the length. It'll actually cut all that for you. And we used to cut it all by hand, and now we can do it in minutes. What used to take hours before.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
So packs on the wall, just some of the products on the wall. This is actually where we make our own tape. So instead of buying tape, really expensive tape, we have this big grate which actually comes down.
Which you make?
So we actually make.
You make tape?
Yeah, we made that. So we make our Dyneema tape, we take this transfer tape. It comes in a 12-inch wide roll, and you roll it onto the Dyneema for one side. Then you bring in the sheet that's 50 inches long, 12 inches wide, lay the grate down, use a knife, and you actually cut that out. That's how we get our strips tape that looked like this, save a bunch of money making our own tape.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so over here is actually where we tape all of our bags.
Yes.
I was waiting for it. I was like, I knew it would be somewhere in there.
Ben, please keep that there. Like, that has to stay there. That can't go anywhere. Yes. Yes.
The poor person who has to work at that station.
You just have to look at me.
Day.
Yeah. Well, pretty much every product you make in Hilltop Packs, does that get taped?
Yes.
Okay, so every single product gets taped while watching me.
Exactly. There you go.
Hell
Oh my God,
yes.
that's funny. Oh, that's so
This
funny.
is where we do some of the printing or the
that's great.
the order stuff. We
Classic.
haven't used this stuff over here yet. We're still printing from home, doing all the packaging. I'll show you the cutting room is back in here. So this is like our little cutting room where we store all the Dyneema back
Oh,
here.
wow.
Not everything's moved over here yet. I'm still doing the cutting from home, so this is still a work in progress, but this will be the final cutting room while we're here. And then this is actually a room we're not finished yet. We're still working on that. Another little room. We're going to put a few machines back there. And this is just an overflow room at the moment.
Wow.
So that's pretty much the...
Look at that poster.
That's
front
hilarious.
and center when you
That
walk
is
in the
so
room.
Funny. What if some new hire here is like, who is this?
They're like,
What's going on here? I have to sit at the station and there's a Team Andy thing? That's really funny.
You know what? My wife says all the time, she's like, are you okay being the only person that laughs at your jokes? Well, that's pretty brutal, but the answer is yes. I'm okay.
That's pretty funny. Do you you're good. I meant to ask you, do you ever get your wife out backpacking with you?
She does not like backpacking. She doesn't like the outdoors. She doesn't like stepping off the sidewalk. She is not into
No car
anything
camping either?
outside.
Couldn't get her out
No.
there?
Not at all. I've taken my kids like day hiking. My kids aren't into it. I have 3 kids. None of them are into it. My 2 oldest kids, my 2 daughters, they like sewing. That was fun for them, but just still, I couldn't even get them outside.
Oh man,
No.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's all good.
So here we go. One question for you from Justin Outdoors says, what piece of gear would you love to start making, logistics and capital costs aside, that you currently don't?
Good question.
Good question. So I don't have any desire to like make quilts or something like that. There's plenty of companies that make quilts, but I would like to start getting into making some kind of shelters. I'm not sure exactly what I would do with that. Maybe like some kind of like bivvy or something like that to start with. Maybe not a full-on tent or not even just a simple tarp, but just something unique and something different. We're probably at least a year or 2 down the road for even considering that. There's a lot of stuff I want to do first. But what's up, Justin? He's a good dude as well.
Yeah.
Little Canadian dude up there.
Do you have
Buys his milk in a bag. That's what all those Canadians do.
really?
Milk in a
They
bag.
built-
Ask him. Buys his milk in a bag.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Canadians, that's what they do. Ask them.
Wait, they buy it in a bag? Not like a...
Milk in a bag. That's a Canadian thing.
Interesting.
All right, Justin.
Okay.
All right, explain yourself.
Interesting. But he brings up a good point. What is your 5 to 10 year plan here?
And I ain't got one. I just want to survive COVID, get through
Yeah.
here.
Good point.
I have like a 3-month plan just to get through the year.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty excited. I mean, I know this wasn't my plan initially, was to start a company, but I'm very excited. And the people I've met in this industry have been pretty cool. Other cottage vendors as well. Everybody's been super nice. Adam Pax, I talked to him briefly just on Instagram, but he's a super nice guy. Red Paw Pax, we bounced some ideas back and forth. There's some really cool guys that I've met. And it's made me pretty passionate about this industry, which I never thought I would even, a year ago, wouldn't have thought of it. September 5th is when I opened up for business. And even that first month wasn't anything special. It was just something to do. And now here we are. I've been backing off my photography studio to do this almost full time.
Really?
Wow.
I'm still doing weddings, but I'm not doing like the day-to-day stuff anymore in the office for McMillan Photography. I'm pretty much running this right now. So pretty crazy
that's
stuff.
pretty
So who knows
cool.
what 5 years is going to be.
This is very good.
That's very cool.
Like most of the cottage companies we talk to, business, I get the downturn from COVID, but take out COVID, business has been pretty good. So that's really, really good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's very good.
Customers have been amazing, and I know a couple other cottage vendors have the same problem. It's really just the supply chain issues we're having right now, and it'll get worked out. That's the biggest headache. You make it one product, and then all of a sudden that color is not available anymore of that Dyneema or X-Pack, and I'm not the only one going through that. But lucky for us, we can print our own stuff, but even that has its challenges when you can't get the right kind of Dyneema in.
Yeah.
Lisa asked, other than bear bags, what's the next most popular item?
The dual pocket gadget bags, which
Nice.
was an
Yeah,
idea
we got
for
those.
a customer.
Yeah.
The customer actually asked if I could make like a dual pocket bag for his like batteries and cords and stuff. I was like, sure. And most of the ideas have come from that, from customers just talking to them, and that's I saw a lot of those too. And then we added a bigger size. I think it might have been even Devin, if he's still in there. He asked if we made a bigger one, and I think that's when we started making the larger size of the dual pocket gadget bags. And then there's the girl, Hike Oregon. She wants to start doing like a larger dual pocket bag, like a clothing bag, and that's something I'll do here pretty soon. I've already made a bunch. I just haven't put it on the website again. Just trying to get in the new shop and get this up and running, but that is on our radar as well.
That's a
pretty
good
soon.
idea.
Ben, I have a product that you can make too that
right.
other companies have chosen not to make.
What is this?
That's my double-ended stuff sack hammock bag with the pocket with the cover over it, so you can put your steaks in it.
Right. That's right. Dutch told you to F off when you asked that.
So it's just an extra little pocket for your
But hold on. There's a trick to it though. There's a trick to it. You have to make it kind of like an envelope where you so it keeps the steaks in it. Don't worry. I got all the plans in this head right here. You will make
it's a double-ended stuff sack with a pocket on it that has a cover for the pocket.
You will
That's
make
what it is.
$500,000 on that product alone.
It's a good idea. It's a
Seems
good idea.
legit.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. So when you get caught,
draw it up, send it over.
Yeah, when you get caught up, and then you can print you can call it.
You can put your ass. He put his ass on
You
it.
can put my ass on it.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I keep wanting to say ass bag this whole freaking.
No, the ass bag. The face bag was the biggest thing of 2019. The ass bag, because it's been an ass year. It's the biggest thing of 2020.
Towards the end of 2020.
Oh my god, that's funny.
That's amazing.
All right. Any other questions for Mr. McMillan?
No, Ben, but make sure after this goes on YouTube, go through and read the
go check the comments out.
There's a lot of people who are shouting out how great of a company it's been to work with you.
Sir, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Yes.
It was fun. It was really fun to finally talk to you.
Yes.
We'll go
You
out
guys were pretty
backpacking sometime
Yes,
as well.
for sure.
We
You're
gotta
close
do
to
that.
us.
Yeah, you're close to us. And Jason was like, you gotta go backpack with Ben. So you got glowing reviews.
Yes.
I did have a lot of fun with Jason, and you never know what to expect when you meet somebody. I know that's just YouTube, but to us, you watch them on a YouTube channel. To backpackers, it's like watching somebody on TV. So it is pretty surreal when you walk up to somebody in the woods, and it's a dude you just watch for a year on YouTube. And I know it's just some guy, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well,
So they were super nice, super accommodating. Go ahead, Andy. Got something there?
No. I was just gonna say before we cut you off, and I noticed you had notes. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about? I'm sorry.
Notes. Actually, I was making notes for my business before you guys came on.
Oh,
That's not. That's not.
okay. All right.
Okay. All
Nice.
right.
I did write the. No, that wasn't. That was the Darwin thing. I was just going to make sure I mentioned he's the one that really kind of pushed us to do the 10% thing.
No, that's
Like I said, by itself, 10%. When you look at the numbers, look at the books, it's pretty scary stuff. But I do think it's going to a good cause.
yeah.
And we actually have another plan in progress. I can't say it just yet. And if I could throw another YouTube channel here, and just for a minute,
go
you guys
for
are
it.
friends with John Kelly and Jeremiah.
For sure.
I'm going to do another one with them in like a month and a half, something like that. But we have another project coming up that I'm pretty excited about. It's just as exciting as the 10%. And I don't want to say too much about that, but we're going to do that on their channel, kind of explain that. Very excited about what I'm going to do, the next step. So
Nice.
Cool.
We're excited.
I'll give you guys a heads up. I'll let you guys know ahead of time.
Yeah. Looks like all the cool stuff happens on John and Jeremiah's channel now.
I guess they get all the all the big debuts.
Yeah, I mean,
I would do it right now. It's just not ready yet. It's not ready until December.
Fine. No,
so
it's
I
good.
kind of have to hold off on
You gotta
that.
tell
So when I
Jeremiah.
move into the big shop, I'll come back with you guys and show you
All
the
right.
big shop.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet. Yeah. Save the big shop for Shield Brothers Outdoors.
Yeah.
Give the backpacking podcast the leftovers. All right, man. Hey, this has been really fun. Thank you so much, dude. Honestly,
thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thanks, Ben.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, see ya.
All right. Bye, everybody. This was fun.